welcome back to the Ancient Ruins. Today we are continuing our journey through Lucas Gentry's FantasyForm, the 18-card wallet game by Button Shy Games, which I absolutely adore, but I'm yet to actually defeat. We've got it set up. We're still on Baby's first beginner go, so we do get 10 shards, and we've got it set up for our first pass through. The idea of the game, if you haven't already seen this game or played this game, I would instantly recommend going and buying this game, to be perfectly honest. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's hilarious, and it will kick your booty. And yes, I'm tidying up for no particular reason because it's going to become an absolute shithole soon enough. So the way we start, we go Outlands, then we go Forge, and then we go Market. We deal with the market, everything moves down, and I can vaguely remember how to play this game, so this is going to be fun. We are the Alchemist. We've got 5 health. We've got a torch and a guide. They all do things. This game's amazing. Let's get into it. So, Outlands encounter. Crystal Vipers shed their highly valued and delicate skin. Gain 1 shard for every empty space in your pack, unless you've got water. Now, we don't have anything in our pack. I haven't actually left space for a pack anywhere because I forgot about that. But that means we get 2 shards. I'm the best at games. Brilliant. Forge encounter. An elderly gnome brandishes a hexing stave against all magical beings. If you have an elemental form, either pay 4 shards or take 2 damage. We don't. Best at games. And then market prices. Right, what have we got? And what's going to be worth? So, I think straight away the best thing to buy is going to be 2 shadow essences. Because that will give us an additional 2. It's not the best. It's not the best. But it is a little bit of money coming in. So we will take the 2 shadow essences. So we kind of pop them there. That's it. You move. You can go over there. That's our discard pile. Yes. So that takes us down to 6 shards remaining. Now, what happens next is everything moves down because we have completed our first go. We're not going to do anything else, so we'll discard this card. I'm going to try and be as neat as possible because I know it winds me up and I think it will wind you up, but I do get kind of excited with these things, so I might get lost along the way. And this is the game, basically. So this one comes over here and becomes our new Outlands encounter, and the market goes down. Now, if we are ever at a position where we have less than 2 market items up here, then it's the bad guys go. This prick over here, okay? And it's bad because that's when it starts to get worse. So if we can try and balance our sales of the things and stuff and amazingness, and we'll be the best at games. It's brilliant. Right. As acidic fog drifts across the path and leeches you of your strength. Lose 3 shards unless you have blue. Don't know what blue is. Dexterity. So we lose 3 shards. That's a pain. So we go from 6 to 3. I can math. I'm the best at math. Right, Forge encounter. A ravenous troll wakes up from a long hibernation. Take 2 damage unless you have flame. We do have flame. We've got the torch. We're fine. Best at games. Now, we can sell our shadow essences for 4, so we get 8 back. Or if we keep them for another turn, then we can sell them for 5. Giving us 10 back, which makes a better profit. Is there anything else that would be better? Not really. At this precise moment in time, I don't think it's worth not doing that, if that makes sense. We could do some weird market manipulation because I can see that the life essences are going to be 5 soon, so that could potentially be some good money, and the 3 are here. Oh, no, we've got a plan. Don't worry, we've got a plan. So we're not going to do anything else, so we move everything down again. I am going to try and keep it as tidy as I can. Right, here we go. Now, at some point, we might want to consider getting some upgrades of our... that one's really good, actually. Ooh, heal 2 damage each time you damage your rival. That's going to be super useful later. I think we might have to buy that this turn. But that's fine. So we're going to pop this here. And then we'll move these across. Now there's still 2, so there's not less than 2, so it's still not this prick's turn. It's going to be that prick's turn very, very soon. So, strangely, the Outlands are peaceful and calm. Travellers ventures forth. You may hire an available companion for 2 fewer shards than the listed cost. I don't want to. Or do I? No. Do I? Mercenary could be really good because he's got basically every symbol. He doesn't do anything, but he's got basically every symbol. No, I don't think we will do that. Next, we've got a guild member has more essences than she can transport. You may purchase an available shadow or life essence for half the price, rounded up. There is one available. However, we don't have any space for it, so we can't make that purchase, which is a shame. Especially because if you were that way out, you could double check what's coming before you move everything around onto the next turn. I don't. I just go through it and play it as a bit of a story. So it is what it is. But we will sell our 2 shadow essences in the market phase. And that gives us 10. So that puts us up to 13 shards. Now we do need to get to 20. Just, I believe, to buy a elemental form before we can start attacking the prick. We can't attack him yet. And then it's going to take another 20 shards because it costs 4 shards to do the attacks, unless it tells us different. So we've got quite a long way to go just by playing market manipulation. So let's see what we've got. Ooh, airs come out. Again, 20 shards to buy air. And at the moment, we've only got 13, so we are a while away yet. All of these move down. We still have above 2, so it is not prick's turn yet. Right, next. A monolith shimmers as you approach, then suddenly fades. Gain 1 shard, plus 1 more for each essence in your pack. We don't have any, but we gain 1. You fail to notice the hole developing in your pack until it's too late. If you have more than 1 essence in your pack, lose 1. Aha! We don't. So there. Next, we've got market prices. Now, these are super kind of cheap, sort of. They're now back at 3. But if we don't buy them now, and I've just said we don't do this, but I couldn't help but see that it's like much cheaper to buy it next. So we're going to leave it. We're not going to buy anything. We're just going to stay as we are, and we'll move on to the next round. Okie-dokie-doo. I think I paid like a tenner for this game. I can't remember. Maybe less. Maybe it was only £9. For the amount of entertainment I've had out of this game, it is worth every penny. And those expansions just keep going. Ooh, you should buy us. We'll make your life better. Right. Curse bent birds dive from above, searching for food and energy. For each essence in your pack, either lose 2 shards and take 1 damage. We've got none. We're being really lucky for now. An itinerant cleric offers to heal your wounds. You may spend 3 shards to heal. Don't need to. Go away. And then we will buy the 2 shadow essences for 4, ending our first turn. And yes, that was literally balance, stay. That was literally our first turn, and we dropped down to 10 shards. So, at the end of the first turn, what happens is we go through. I will have to try and remember this. We collect everything up, and then we go through and find the first one of these. If your rival doesn't have an elemental form, they'll gain 1. Find the topmost element form in the discard pile and place it next to the rival card. Flip the rival card and rotate it to 4 on the top edge. Okay, so it all gets discarded in a way from right to left. So it all gets discarded right to left. So it goes like this. I think it should have gone like that, so that's fine. They go on top, and then we'll go through it until we find the first elemental form, which I should be doing on camera so you can see. It is going to be the air one. I knew it. I hate it. I don't like it. So, They don't attack on their first time, which is good, because that would suck. However, they do 1 damage. Then I have to discard an essence from my pack, I believe, which is bad. Right, so we do a shuffle. We do a bad shuffle, but we do a shuffle nevertheless, and we set up again. So, we've got the shielding braces. I will try my damnedest to make this tidy. I will fail, but I will try. Okay, 2, 3. Right. So they have... Oh, we need to do a twisty on this one, so I'm still going to put it out, but we need to do it that way up. Beans! Double beans and triple beans. Okay, so on to round the second. We still need so much money. We need to get to 20 money and still have some money left over to make more money to hit the prick. Right. What have we got? Inexperienced goblins set up an ambush on the far side of the rope bridge. Pay 2 shards unless you have a leaf or an axe. We have neither. We've only got fire, so we have to pay those 2 shards. This is not a good start. An elderly gnome brandishes a hexing stave against all the magical benefits. If you have an elemental form, we don't. Carry on. We will sell, I think. Yes, we are going to sell our 2 shadow essences. Now, we're going to sell them for 8, but we will buy the 2 martial essences, which moves everything down. So we just gain 6. I wasn't paying too much attention, but we gain 6, so we're on 14. Move everything down there. That is the end of that one. So we get to discard this, move everything down, and yes, I'm still trying to keep it as tidy as possible so you don't complain about how messy I am. All right, mother, calm down. Right, here we go. A rock slide hardly misses you, revealing a valuable treasure. Gain 2 shards unless you have water. I don't, thank the Lord, because we really need to get that 20 as soon as possible. Being water would be really good. Really good. I think maybe we want to be fire. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. A rejuvenating wind blows through the outlands, carrying the sound of distant battle. Gain 1 available martial essence or heal 1 point of damage. We can't and we can't, so that's fine. And we don't want to sell anything as of yet. We're going to keep it for the next round. That's fine. We've got our martial essences. So everything. Do we want to take the guild loan contract? We might want to do this. If we take the guild loan contract, right, so the guild loan contract is free. We gain 4 shards when you equip it, but we have to pay 5 when we buy any other artifact, okay? That 4 will take us to 20, which will allow us to buy I don't want that one. Just said I do want that one. Don't think I want that one. Do want damage. It takes 6 damage. Why is that good? Oh no, we're on the blue one. So if an encounter revival power deals 2 or more damage, reduce it by 1. It doesn't. It does 1 damage, and then I have to get rid of an essence. Water's not very good, but we are going to take the guild contract that puts us up to 20. So we are in a good-ish position, and then we'll move on to the next one, and we will hope for Earth probably would be the best one for us, which is in here somewhere, but if we find it or not this time, that's another matter. Okay, so next up, restorative spring bubbles with otherworldly heat. Gain 2 shards if at full health, otherwise heal 1 damage. We are at full health, we gain 2 shards, we're at 22. Now we're in a bit of a bad position. Beans. Because we can have a maximum of 25. No more. We're at 22. So if we sell 1 of these, we're at 25. Not the best. Do we just want to go out swinging? I'm now contemplating just going out swinging. Right, a mindless shambler lurches in front of, lurches in from the wastes, slowly pursuing travellers. Lose an essence unless you have a crossbow. Well, that resolves one issue because, well, I don't have a crossbow so I'd lose that, and I could sell this and get up to 25. So we are in a very good position. I'm not going to buy anything at the moment because I don't want to. And that's my reason, and that's what I'm saying. So we're going to get rid of water. It potentially could have been wise for us to get it, but I'm still going to hold out for earth. I'm not going to find it. I don't know where it is. Ruh-roh. And we'll move on. This is the last go. This is the last round, and then I am going to take a damage. And if I've got anything in my pack, I'm going to lose that as well. So there's no point buying anything, sadly. Right, a stinging dust cloud stares up. So we have to take damage because of this. A stinging dust cloud stares up at you as it comes in from the outlands. Take 1 damage unless you have water. I do not. I take a damage. Raiders carry elemental bane weapons. Strike without warning. Take 1 damage or 2 if you have an elemental form. Ooh, we're taking a beating, and we're not bothered about market prices because we're not going to use anything, which is a shame. So now, oh no, we've got 1 more chance to find our elemental form. So we desperately need this to be this. Oh, yes. But I believe I still have to wait till the market phase before I can buy him. But at least we know we're in a good position now. Okay. As long as we survive. We've only got 3 health left. Outlaws waylay you as you cross the outlands. Lose 1 essence of your choice. Don't have any. Easy. You discover a bandit hideout that seems to be unguarded. Gain 1 shard or 2 if you have no elemental form. I can't. I'm that good at games. I can't take any more money. And then finally, it's market phase. We're going to buy the earth form. So you go back in there. We are now back healed full. And we are down to 5 shards. Right. So now we need, it takes 4 shards to do 1 dink of damage. He's got 5 health. We need another 20 shards. We're starting with 5. We can do this. So what happens is we take 1 damage. We turn it to 3. We take 1 damage. And we move on to the next one. If it ever gets to 1 and needs to turn again, we have lost. But we now collect from... we just collect. I'm not overly bothered about which way, even though it does say in the manual to do it a certain way, because we're going to shuffle anyway, so it doesn't matter. Ooh, we've got earth. I am getting a little bit confident now. We might actually win one. Have I set this up too far that way? Maybe. Move everything across. I do this for you, my little cultists. I do this for you. Right. Oh, as always, we need to turn it over, and there we go. It's the same one. I just needed to turn it the right way around. Can we have something good to earn us lots of money? No. None of them earn us any money. In fact, all of them are bad. This is the one that would have earned us money, and it's there, not here, and it's not going to be there. This is what we've got to work with. Ooh, dear. I think the only ones that could potentially be worth are the Shadow Essence, but that one's going to disappear, and we need to pick them up soon. So we're going to do some jiggery-pokery momentarily. Acidic fog drifts across the path and leaves you of your strength. Lose 3 shards unless you have Rut Row. Okay, we are in a bad position all of a sudden. A salve tree is blooming today. Heal 1 point of damage unless you have fire. We do have fire. We don't heal. That's bad. And I've just noticed that we shouldn't have this. This isn't an artifact. That should be over there. We should have our other guy over here doing the bits and pieces. I've done it wrong, but at least we do get to heal. I made a mistake. Who caught it, children? Damn it. If we do see the guy who should be there, we will swap it out because I made a goof. Right, so we are down to 2 shards, not 3 shards. We can't afford anything. This might be the beginning of the end. This might genuinely be the beginning of the end. Beans. Oh, he's there. No, he isn't. That's not the guy I'm looking for. This is the guy that I'm looking for. Okay, torch comes out. There we go. Now we're back on track. Lovely. I could really do with money. Money is the only thing that will save us, and I don't have a way of getting any money. We're doomed. You rescue a smith lost in the wastes. You may buy an artifact with the star symbol for 3 shards. Gain 1 shard if there are none available. Thank the Lord. There are none available. We gain a single shard. Does that help us in any way? Maybe. We can buy that one. A guild member has more essences than she can transport. You may purchase either an available shadow or life essence for half price, rounded up. Right, which one's going to give us the most money? So that's 2, that's going to give us 3. But that's 2, and that's going to give us 5. Right, so we are going to buy a life essence, and that is going to cost us 2, so that puts us 1. We're back in the game. And then we're going to sell it straight away for 4, so that puts us up to 5. Right. It's not the best. In fact, things actually happen, so we'll have to do all the things that actually happen, because this is the weird market manipulation that you can do. So you'll notice now that I buy this martial essence, move everything down 1, and then sell it. So my shards don't change, but now the martial essence is there. So it can be used later. Do I need to do any jiggery pokery for anything else? No, but I could technically buy a life essence as well. And I'm actually going to buy a life essence for 4. So that takes us back down to 1. Because we can sell that next turn for 5. And that's okay with me. Okay. Moving swiftly on. I hope I don't run out of money. If I can just somehow get us to 20 coins, we can just beat this guy to death. That's the dream. That's the dream. A stinging dust cloud stirs up at you as you come in from the outlands. Take 1 damage unless you have water. I don't. An elderly gnome brandishes a hex instant. Why won't this one go away? If you have an elemental form, either pay 4 shards or take 2 damage. We can't pay the 4 shards. We've got to take the 2 damage. We're doomed. And then finally, we are going to sell the life essence for 5. And then we're going to buy the martial essence for 1, which might come in useful later. It's not going to be useful yet, but it might come in useful later on, and everything moves down. One of the greatest things about button shy games, and I do genuinely love them. I am a fully blown addict. I think at this precise moment in time, thinking about Kickstarters, pre-orders, and other bits and pieces, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 button shy games coming over the next year. Depending on when they release and things. That might be excessive. Get ready for a lot of button shy content. Right, a massive lockbox is immovable but not unbreakable. Gain the least expensive essence if you have a hammer, which I do, or a sword. And the least expensive is both of them. So I'm going to gain either of them. This is fine. This is the last round before we take an utter beating. You discover a bandit hideout that seems to be unguarded. Gain 1 shard or 2 if you have no elemental form. We do have an elemental form, but we're just going to take the 1 shard. And then we are going to sell this life essence for 6, putting us up to 12. Now, if we don't do anything else, we get another go. But I could go and slap him about a bit for 2, but I also take 1. Yes. It's not the best. Right, we'll give it a go. We're going to try and just get a little bit more money. 8 more money somehow in one turn, and we've won. 8 more money. One of the good things about having a channel as well is we are going to be covering an upcoming Button Chai Kickstarter very soon on this channel. You'll see it if you subscribe and you like and you comment and you pledge your undying devotion to me. It's not too much to ask, and I'm not sure whether I'm meant to announce it yet. I'm not even sure that I'm meant to put the video up when I'm going to put the video up, but no, they haven't told me not to. Is that all right? You know? Ask forgiveness instead of permission. Right. A monolith shimmers as you approach, then suddenly fades. Gain 1 shard, plus 1 more for each essence in your pack. Right, I've got 1, so I gain 2. We're up to 14. We are up to 14. He's going to get some slaps. He's going to get some slaps. We can do this. You accidentally spring a hunter's trap. Take 1 damage unless you've got dexterity. Beans. Okay, and then we're not going to sell anything as of yet because it's not really worth it. So what's going to happen is we are going to get rid of everything. We are going to take a damage from this prick. We've got 2 health left. That's not good. But we're also going to slap him about twice. So we're going to go from 14 down to math. I believe that will be 6. That's probably fine. That's probably not a bad idea. Okay, so he was on 5, then 4, then 3. If we can get 12 shards by the next turn and not die, we can actually win our first game of this. I've never won this game, ever. Like, genuinely ever. Even when I'm playing off camera, I just don't win these games. I will blame that on me being utterly useless at games and at the same time the best at games. But it is just fun. One of the greatest things about them is you can take them anywhere. I've played this at a cafe at the seaside. Is this winding you up that they're not level? I don't know how we're going to do this. Oh, I don't know how we're going to do this. This is useless currently, but I might buy another one just in case. We'll see what happens by the time we get there. Acidic fog drifts across the path. Lose 3 shards unless you have that. Damn. That's not good. An elderly gnome brandishes a... Really? Every single time we've had this one. It feels like every single time we've had this one. And this is where we die. I was so confident. An elderly gnome brandishes a hexing stave against all magical beings. If you have an elemental form, either pay 4 shards, I can't, or I take 2 damage, I dead. Do you just see how that came crashing down? Right, so I still love this game, but it's evil and it hates me and it wants me to suffer. Thank you very much for watching. It means the world if you made it all the way this through. In fact, if you have made it this far, please do leave a comment down below, just so I know that you're still here. Until the next time we convene. Thank you.